On this season of Destination Earth, Akane and I head back to our home country of Japan to explore the southern reaches of the island. Join us as we make our way across Nagasaki Prefecture, as we learn about its atomic past, discover its incredible countryside, and hike some of Japan's most scenic trails. Where are we off to today? Let's find out. Japan has a long and interesting history, and it's one of the main reasons why I love exploring this country. On our first day here in Nagasaki, we really wanted to touch on this, and we wanted to start out by exploring a place that reflected on the devastation that happened here. As I write this, war is very much a real thing in typically peaceful parts of the country. You see, Russia has recently invaded Ukraine. People are fleeing for their safety. Today, in this video, we're visiting the site of the atomic bomb that was dropped on the people of Nagasaki by the United States government. It's reminders like this that show that any nation is capable of terrible things when influenced by terrible people. This video is dedicated to the people of Japan, to those currently struggling with the effects of war in Ukraine, and the countless other countries across the globe that are going through the same thing. We began our day, once again, by walking to our destination. Walking allows us to connect with our surrounding, see interesting buildings, and buildings with names like this, the Happy Science Building, which make us laugh, all while soaking up the sun and getting some exercise. Our half-an-hour walk from the hotel to the park took us through town. People going about their day as we happily strolled through on vacation. We passed streetcars, a really cool form of public transportation found within the city. Not long afterward, we came to the entrance of the Peace Park, a place where we knew the mood was going to change. We were going from the happy vacationer to the humbled human. So we're starting off our second day here in Nagasaki, and we thought that we would explore this, the Peace Park. And this is a really important piece of Japanese history. This is the second location of the nuclear bombings that happened here in Japan during 1945. So behind me, we're going to see a little bit later, it's the spot where the actual atomic bomb went off. And so this park is dedicated to not only that, but the friendships that now exist between the nations that were involved. And it's a little bit of a somber moment, but it's definitely worth a visit. It's definitely worth reliving the history and an integral part of what we like to do when we visit a new place. On August 8th, 1945, the world changed. At 11:02 a.m., carnage of unmatched proportions rocked the world. A new form of warfare had been unleashed, one that after the fact was so devastating, global leaders vowed to never use it again. It was here that 2.6 square miles of earth, homes, and people were leveled to unrecognizable piles of dust and ashes. 11,574 homes were completely burned. 1,326 completely destroyed, while 5,500 others badly damaged. It was here that over 73,000 people were instantly killed, while another 75,000 were badly injured. A plaque located here reads the following: "The fierce blast wind. Heat rays reached several thousand degrees, and deadly radiation generated by the explosion crushed, burned, and killed everything in sight, and reduced the area to a barren field of rubble. About half of Nagasaki City was destroyed, and 150,000 people killed or injured. It was said at this time this area would be devoid of vegetation for the next 75 years. Now, the epicenter remains as an international peace park and a symbol for the aspiration of world harmony." So behind me is the epicenter of where it all happened. So 500 feet above us, so that's half a kilometer up, is actually where the bomb exploded. And despite it being that far away, the effects on the city, on the area, and really on the entire country were just significant. Because remember, this wasn't the only city that hit. Hiroshima was also hit, and that was the first place. Nagasaki here was the second. And this memorial here is just a reminder of the sacrifices that this area made in the name of war. Along the sides of the monument, there are a few stone walls of Urakami Cathedral. This was the grandest church in all of Eastern Asia at the time, and from what I could see, I could just imagine how it must have looked in its glory days. Nearby, we started to follow a set of stairs down to where the original terrain level used to exist. Buried in this section are the remnants of the disaster. Pieces of history thrown and mixed in with the soil. An untouched reminder of the complete and total devastation. Today, beautiful bridges and streams exist, but a plaque on the wall talks about how the bodies were floating by, a place of heartbreak and fear, not one of beauty. Pushing onward, we came to the base of the stairs before entering the second half of the Peace Park. Here you can find a series of caves carved into the wall that were used for protection and escape from the effects of the bomb's aftermath. At the top of the stairs, you'll come across a beautiful water feature. Off in the distance, you'll see the famous sculpture. But immediately in front of you is a message from the creators of the artwork that reads, "After experiencing that nightmarish war, that blood-curdling carnage, that unendurable horror, who could walk away without praying for peace?" This statue was created as a signpost in the struggle for global harmony. Standing 10 meters tall, it conveys the profundity of knowledge and the beauty of health and virility. The right hand points to the atomic bomb, the left hand points to peace, and the face prays deeply for the victims of war. Transcending the barriers of race and evoking the qualities of Buddha and God, it is a symbol of the greatest determination ever known in the history of Nagasaki, and the highest hope for all of mankind. As we left, we knew we had a lot to think about. From here, we were going to the Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum to digest even more of what it meant to experience this tragedy. We encourage you to join us in the next video, but we want to warn you now, the images shared won't be easy to watch. The museum does not hold back. They share the truth of the experience in hopes that this will never happen again.